Welcome to Be Who They Come To, where healing meets humor and spirit meets story. Oriana and Kelly are two friends who've stumbled, laughed, cried, and somehow found their way back to source. This podcast is a space to share the messy, magical journey of recovery, healing, and rediscovering themselves, and ideally, helping you do the same, with plenty of laughter along the way, because sometimes the best medicine really is a mix of soul work and a good sense of humor. And now, be who they come to.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome everybody to the first episode of Be Who They Come To. We're still looking for taglines, so if y'all have any ideas, there's a couple that we like. My favorite is batteries not included. Kelly, what's your fave?
I don't know. There was a couple that I really enjoyed, like the Source Not Costco or something. That was pretty good too.
That was your top one. But
That's my fave.
Yeah, so the reason we're calling this Be Who They Come To, it's actually a phrase that I've used for a couple decades. And for me, it always meant that I wanted to be the type of person that people came to, that they felt comfortable enough to open up, discuss their, I don't want to say deepest, darkest secrets, but it's happened. So I knew always that that was a privilege, and that wasn't something that I took lightly. So I wanted to maintain that. I wanted to be that good person, you know? So really at the end of the day, it's don't be a shitty person, you know?
Yep.
Be a good person. Be who they can come to.
Yeah.
So, and then as for the can you turn the light on, which is what the episode is titled, that was more about you being able to turn to others to help you find the light when things are dark. So I think that's what a lot of our podcast is based on too, because I turn to you and you help me through the darkness, and I think vice versa.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So
yeah, for sure.
That's kind of
with that being said, I mean, I think, you know, we've been friends for what, 20 some odd years.
Yeah, if we had to do the math, I think it's 22 or 23 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and through that 22 years, you have been that person, you know, I've always turned to.
Yeah, same.
You know, and
my constant through relationships, through breakups, through birth of kids, and kids playing together, not playing together, growing up, you know, all kinds of trials and tribulations. So, you know, it's always been, I think, a beautiful thing that you and I have had each other.
No, well, that's I think what the important thing is that you know, we the one thing I appreciate is that we can come to that sacred place in our friendship with no judgment but accountability.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you know, I know that there's times where you can be like, yeah, okay, Kelly, you know, and there's accountability without feeling judged. I think that is like super essential.
But I think like we're able to talk through things too, where like I come to you and with my deepest, darkest shame, I'm like, Kelly, fuck, man, I screwed up again. Like, look, this is what I did. Like, tell me I'm either dumb or tell me it's okay, you know?
Yeah, and and same here with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've learned that too, is that, you know, with living authentically, you can't half ass it or half truth it.
No,
you just gotta
be
you just own it.
Whole asset, for sure.
You're not your mistakes, quote
no,
unquote.
and it's too, like, even when people go to like talk therapy, you're never going to get anywhere unless you're honest.
Yep. That's it.
You got to write yourself out. It's that simple, you know? And I think with us too, it's like you mentioned the other day, often through just talking, we're able to come up with our own solutions. You know, it's not always, it's like, oh, fuck, Kelly's going to have answers for me. There's times where I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do, but Kelly will know, you know, or like, I really shouldn't go by what I think on this one. I'm going to go to Kelly because she's more level-headed. You're detached from the situation.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
like you're more objective, right? You're able to
Yeah.
not think of it with emotion attached and things like that. And that's helpful.
And I also, we know who each other are.
Yeah.
Like you know me through and through. I know you through and through. So
Well, there's been times where I'm like, I don't answer your call, and you're like, I know where you are.
Yep, and that's not usually a good thing. I'm just saying.
I know what you're doing. You didn't even need to tell me.
Yeah. Lately, I'm like, oh, yep, I know. We'll talk about it 6 hours from now.
Yeah.
We'll like cry or freak out or scream or whatever. And I mean,
100%.
that's the beauty, is that we can accompany each other through our dark moments.
Yeah. And, we've both experienced, people expressing that they wish they had a friend
Yes.
like I do and you do in me,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
we're able to be that vulnerable and raw,
Hmm.
unfiltered, and that's what this podcast is about too, right? It's raw, unfiltered, and
Yeah.
authentic, and it's about mental health and healing and recovery and individual journeys.
I think it's a safe place.
100%.
Yeah. It's
100%.
really a safe place where we can just be who we are and talk about the things that I think there's still a huge stigma when it comes to mental health.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when people get that official diagnosis or not, um, people are afraid, that label it comes with a whole lot of stigma.
100%.
And we're
100%.
not here to talk about labels and clinical diagnosis.
No,
That's not.
we are not pros, man. I think we're pros at screwing up in life. And I plan, I don't know about you, but I plan on making a few more mistakes. So
Yeah.
it's the only way we learn. And
Yeah, that's true.
through I think to our spirituality
Yeah.
and incorporating a lot of that into our lives, it's also become who we are. And, when you begin to heal from trauma and you're finally able to see some of the lessons that are coming from these experiences, I think that's when you begin to do the soul work. And you realize too that these things are meant to happen, that we wrote them into our lives before we incarnated. I mean, these are our beliefs anyway, right? And you and I mirror each other's beliefs.
Yeah.
My beliefs, actually, a lot of them stemmed from what you have taught me. Like it was initially
Right or wrong.
that's it, man. I'm like, Kelly was wrong about this, like, and then yeah, but it's not often that you're wrong actually with me. So,
Oh, well, thank you.
but
At least I get that right.
right, exactly. So at least you can call me out on my shit.
Yeah, well, and same here. And I think where, I've struggled with mental health for over 2 decades, and
Yep.
my spirituality has been a huge catalyst uh to get me to get through things.
Well, and your spirituality started really young.
It sure did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like 11, 12, 13
Hmm.
when it started, and I was just very fortunate enough that at that time in my life I was surrounded by a really good core group of people. And
Hmm.
I don't want to stereotype, but I lived outside of Ottawa, and there was this kind of modern hippie
Yeah.
um, community out there, and that really kind of forged into my spirituality.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I was that girl with a
Yeah.
medicine pouch with stones.
And I've become that girl since meeting you. So, but my spirituality too started briefly. My parents were always churchgoers,
Mm,
and I kind of started to push back against religion about at the age of 14. My parents would bring me to church, and I would just start to make
mhm.
loud noises at the back so that they were embarrassed and would
Right,
not bring me, because I would fight and say, I'm not going, I'm not going, I'm not going.
right.
But they dragged me there. But then when my parents were getting divorced, my mom actually brought me for a Reiki session to a Reiki therapist,
Hmm.
Julie Desmarais. If you're listening, thank you and God bless you. Um, and it was the most peace I've ever experienced in my life. And since then too, it's like that drug, that first high. You're always been
Mhm.
chasing the dragon, and it's never been as peaceful since. I think because I was so young and still
Yeah.
not as jaded by life, not as screwed up just yet. I was well on my way to getting screwed up, but
Well,
um,
spirituality it's an internal job.
100%.
So really, it's again like therapy. Like
Oh
you're
yeah,
gonna get what you put into it, and
that's right.
unfortunately, trauma kind of forms our experiences or
Hmm.
influences our experiences, I should say.
Yeah, very much
And
so.
but I think with my spirituality, it was a sense of belonging because I really
Yeah,
felt like the black sheep of the family
yeah,
and
me too.
misunderstood. So really, my spirituality is my family
Yeah,
and
exactly.
where I go to. Mind you, along the years, I've needed medical intervention as well.
Yeah,
You
same with
can't
me.
just
Same with
go
me.
to Reiki and rub stones together and dance around the fire.
And sage your
Um,
children, and in your
it,
house, and
really,
yeah, yeah.
it's healing is a mixed bag
It really is, and
for
same with me
me.
too. I was
Yeah,
diagnosed really young
yeah.
with depression and anxiety,
Hmm.
and it's kind of followed me throughout my life. And
Hmm.
there's been major dips over time, and you always climb out of it. There's always that
Hmm.
light at the end of the tunnel, and
Right,
we're going to touch a lot on mental health. More so actually with our next episode too.
right.
We can dive into our each individual experiences, what we've been through and stuff. But
Hmm.
for now, we just want to make sure that we stay authentic with this podcast.
Hmm.
Um, that it's raw, and this is actually take two, because our last recording turned out to be absolute crap. My mic was on a crappy setting, and I sounded like I was like talking into a toilet, and like you
My mic
sounded beautiful.
fell.
Yeah, it was like every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you get more comfortable as you go, right? Like you're able
Hmm.
to articulate and express yourself a little bit better, and we can kind of
Right.
like stay on track of what we want to talk about, and hopefully relay these messages to people.
Hmm.
Hopefully them being a fly on the wall in our conversation is of some kind of benefit to them. I mean, that's our
Right.
goal. I think mine anyway.
Hmm.
It's very therapeutic for us to be doing this, and you
Right.
know, yeah,
Well, and I think with the with this podcast too, people who have had that diagnosis or people that have been struggling for a long amount long periods of time, sometimes we always think that it's going to go away.
yeah,
And unfortunately, mental health can be a chronic it can be a chronic disease or even a fatal disease. And I think
yeah,
people don't understand that if mental health is not addressed, you can die from it. I mean, it's that
absolutely,
situated.
absolutely.
I know that's something I struggled with my mental health young and being naive. Oh, this will just go away.
Hmm.
It's situational,
No, me too. I was
or
like, I'm
whatever.
just a
Yeah.
teenager. This is
Yeah.
kind of a rite of passage. This is what I'm going to go through.
Oh, it's hormones or it's that breakup or it's that,
That's right.
but really it and I think when it's something that you may have to monitor for the
It's
rest
your
of your life,
shadow. It's your
that
shadow.
can be overwhelming.
Oh yeah,
And
100%.
I think that's where, just owning it and being like, okay, this is not who I am. This is
It's
an
a part of me.
aspect. And so that makes it, I think, a little bit easier.
Yeah, and it's like you
Yeah.
said too, I think it's a mixed bag of conventional medicine,
Mm,
holistic healing, inner journey, soul work, right? And
hmm.
you I know for myself, I was able to come to terms with my mental health issues through spirituality,
Right.
and understanding that this journey is for me,
Hmm.
and I am experiencing this to evolve And it helps me with these extreme lows, and I tell myself it's going to be okay. I'm going to get through this. This is what's meant to happen, and things unfold as they should, right?
Right.
So we just have to, I guess, sometimes keep reminding each other and ourselves, that these things aren't bad.
No. Well, and I think with man, I say I think a lot because I do think. I'm a Gemini. I'm an overthinker.
Unfortunately.
So
Unfortunately.
I apologize. I think a lot. And when I think a lot, sometimes my eyes go crooked. So
Yeah.
for those of you who are watching, I apologize.
Yeah. She's a little
It's just,
cockeyed. For those of you who are listening,
it's just me, and that's
yeah,
okay.
she's not having a seizure, I promise.
No, and it goes with the bags. So
That's it.
we're good.
Under eye bags. Yeah. Yeah.
The one of the things I've enjoyed too is, I think we cope very differently.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're
We
very
want the
alike, but
same
we're very different.
results.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
I
know,
know, like I will do breath work. I journal. I have my mornings where I don't touch my phone for half an hour to an hour, and I just sit and be.
Mhm.
I turn to the outdoors a lot, hiking, being on the water, soothes my soul. Like I turn to physical activity. I go to the gym. I work out. I
I
like
don't.
do.
I don't. I will one day.
We used to go to the gym
Yeah.
in our 20s. I would drag your ass to the gym, and then we
Yeah,
would
and
go through Tim Hortons
Tim Hortons.
drive-through and eat 20 Timbits each.
Yeah, it
Balance.
was fantastic.
Life is about
You know
balance.
what? I think I will get to the gym at some point, but my exercising is putting my shoes on and trying to squeeze into my girdle.
Yeah.
That's my exercising.
There's been several times where you're like, I don't know if I can fucking get into this thing anymore.
I probably dislocated my pancreas or some internal organ at some point where I'm like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but that's okay. I like you, I have more creative ways that I cope. I'm a big writer. I play
Yep.
music.
Yep. You do
That could
tarot?
I do tarot.
You are
Yeah.
an amazing tarot card reader. Amazing.
Oh,
30 years. 30 years?
almost 30 years, 28.5
Yeah.
years. So
28 years. So if y'all are ever interested in a reading from Kelly, reach out because I don't know many times that she's been wrong. I'll be honest with you. And I do refer a lot of people to her, to you. And they too have always had good experiences from the feedback that they've given me, So I think that's definitely
I don't BS.
no,
I don't
no,
BS, and a lot of the time when I do that, it's really people are coming with an open heart, and
yep,
they already kind of know.
yep,
So it's
yep,
essentially
it's true.
it's like a counseling session, really.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't predict your future per se, but
No, no,
I provide insight and stuff like that. So yeah, I really like to we talked about outlet, and I think
yep,
people no, I don't think when you're struggling with mental health, find an outlet.
you have to.
Yeah.
I do have creative outlets as well. Like I like to play with epoxy and concrete and candles and candle holders and stuff and making various things,
Hmm.
furniture, refurbishing, things like that, playing
Hmm.
outside, tinkering around in the garage, doing various things. And I love learning new things too.
Hmm.
Like that's
Yeah.
one of my favorite, like teach me something.
Yeah.
Teach me something. My mind is hungry, like I want to learn. And
Mm.
that's something that I've realized I need in friends, in a partner,
Right.
is that we're each other's teachers for things,
Hmm. Yeah.
and I feel that with you for sure. You
Hmm.
teach me a lot and have taught
I
me a
think
lot.
we teach each other a lot, and I sometimes we're just mirroring each other.
Yeah.
But it's hard sometimes when you're in it to
Yep.
see it. But then when you see it through somebody else, you're just like, oh, because there's a lot of times I can identify,
Yep. You know what else
what
I
you're
just
going
it
through.
just came to me too. And you feel I think that it should be a feeling maybe that you have within relationships where you can see yourself in your partner's eyes. And that goes for friends as well. I
And your
see
children.
myself. I see
Hmm.
myself through your eyes and I like who I am
Hmm.
because of that, because of how much
Hmm.
you love me and how much you appreciate me. I realize that I have value and I have worth.
Hmm.
And sometimes, you don't see that in yourself when you're going through
Right.
something. You feel worthless and down and it's hard.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that's a normal feeling. I think that's something a lot
Mhm.
of people struggle with is, they have times where they're like, fuck, I'm amazing, like I'm really cool,
Mhm.
but then there's other times where it's like, I feel like I'm nothing, you know?
Well, with you and I, with the accountability part, I know when you're kind of at your low, and you know when I'm at
Yeah.
my low.
Yep.
When I don't shave my legs,
Yep.
or
Hairy beast. Hairy
not
beast.
that you
They're
you pay
poking through your
attention.
jeans.
It's like, okay, or
Yeah.
you don't wash your hair, or you can't get out of bed.
Or you don't brush your teeth for
Um,
3 days.
yeah, or you're just uh, kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
I think we're really good at seeing that in each other, or
Yes.
even decision making when I'm like way out in Yonkers, being like, "Oh, I gotta do this and this and this." It's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a good
You
idea.
kind of bring me back in, on
Yeah.
planet Earth.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that person that knows, hey,
Yeah. That checks you.
you're kind of going off track a little bit.
That's it.
And
That
not in
checks
an
you.
not in an aggressive way or anything, but it makes you accountable as well as a person, as an
And I
individual.
think too, like, it's not like you and I go to each other and we like what you say is gospel or what I
No,
say.
not at all.
It's like there's times I'll be like, I don't agree with her. I'm gonna just go fuck
Yeah,
around anyway.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's been times where I do that and that you do that, and that's okay. And
Hmm.
we accept that about each other,
Yeah. Well,
you know?
it's your journey. We both have our individual journeys.
Yep.
So if there's something that you really feel in your heart that you need to do, and I
Yep.
may not agree with it, w- I'm we're not each other's gods.
No.
And
And we don't, yep. We are not each other's shrinks.
no,
We don't proclaim we are some kind of life coach.
no.
Like you are a certified counselor actually
Yes,
by trade, so to speak. So that's
but
why I literally have it.
educational standards.
Right, exactly. So I have that in you, and which is a blessing for me because there's been times like the most time you've spent with me on the phone is 7 hours.
Yep.
7 bloody hours. And you talked me through things
Hmm.
and there's like, Kelly, I can't get up off the floor, I'm in
Hmm.
so much pain, walk me through this, I can't stop crying, and you will let me sit there and ugly cry, and you just listen.
Sometimes I cry with you.
You have where you're like, fuck, you are so broken, you're contagious.
But as an outsider, and I'm sure when you see me go through some tough things too, you you don't the struggle,
Yes.
but it's just like, oh, I wish I could take away that pain. But
Yeah.
really, what it is just providing that safe space so you can take care of that pain.
Holding
Yeah,
space for somebody, right?
yeah,
And even there's so many times where you're like, I can't believe you're going through this,
yeah,
and I wish there's something I can do.
yeah.
And just sitting there, just having like hearing you breathe on the other side of the
Which
phone.
I'm a mouth breather, so I breathe really loud.
Yeah, so it's, panting. There's more panting, Kel. It's not, I wouldn't even call it
I'm
breathing,
sorry. I'll
it's,
try to keep the panting down because it might like
right?
sound awkward.
Tongue in your mouth, tongue back in your mouth. But and you and I use a lot of humor too. Like sometimes
Yeah.
it's pretty dark the things we laugh at,
Yeah,
but
we wouldn't want somebody hearing it. That's for sure.
no,
Be
no.
like, whoa, those
Yeah,
girls
can't
are a
believe you're
little bit.
making light of that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like, ski masks and pastrami.
Right. We will fill you guys in on that one day.
Yeah, that's a
Maybe.
story. We have
Maybe.
lots of stories.
Yeah. Spaghetti nights, wild vines wine, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we had good times.
We
And
really
we
did.
still continue to have a good times. And
Absolutely.
um I th-
Absolutely.
we want that podcast to collectively be, hey, I'm gonna go see these girls chit chat
That's
and
it.
be a part of it with,
That's it.
I think with COVID, um, I think there's really been a disconnect. And
Yeah.
now we rely more on social media. Um,
We do.
mhm. But
We do.
I
We
think
do.
we want to create a safe space where people can just be authentically yourself. You're having a bad day, a great day. We don't always want, only sad stories. We want to hear the good stories
No,
too. And
absolutely. Absolutely. Our wins, I think our failures are easier to talk about just because, when it comes to mental health, um, people will often talk about the decline, not the
right.
incline, right? Whereas social media is based on highlight reels.
Hmm.
Someone's life can look absolutely perfect on
Oh
social
yes.
media, right? And there's often we have access to things that we didn't have access before
Yep.
to before, and I think people struggle with social media boundaries too. Like
Oh, for sure.
that's another topic we can get into too.
Oh yes. Oh
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So, but I think too, like I have a love-hate relationship with social
Yeah,
media. I'm
me
able
too.
to make posts and stuff and be really vulnerable and raw.
Yeah.
And
Which
I
I
know
struggle with.
you do, and you
Yeah.
struggle with letting people see your vulnerability because I
Yeah, I
think
do.
there's an element there of you don't wanna be judged, right?
Judging, and I think it's about confidence. I think it's about
Yeah,
self-esteem.
yeah,
I think it's a mixed bag of where that comes from.
yeah,
It's, and I think through some of the things that I've been through, I felt quote unquote overexposed.
yeah.
So I feel that keeping everything to myself is
Mhm,
is what I need to do, because just through life experiences,
mhm.
I was shown that vulnerability was weakness.
And I think a lot of people think of it that way too. I think a
Hmm.
lot of people think
Hmm.
that if I don't talk about this, it doesn't
Hmm.
exist, or if people don't know, they won't judge. And
Hmm.
I've for a very long time now been one of those people where I don't care much about what other people
Hmm.
think. There's been a couple incidences actually recently that where what people think has mattered to me, and I've let that affect
Hmm.
how I see myself. But I'm
Right.
coming out of that. I'm really coming to terms with the fact that I can't care about what other people think
No, you
because
can't.
that then leads to me not being myself.
Yeah.
And I will not let somebody else determine my worth. I just won't.
Absolutely not.
I won't do it.
And people are going through their own things, and I th when people have trouble with vulnerability and authenticity, which I have struggled with myself, to be quite
Mhm,
honest with you,
mhm.
it rubs you the wrong way.
Yep,
It rubbed me the wrong way.
yep.
But really, it was more of a reflection on what was going on with me
Yeah, absolutely. It's
than
not it's not
than that
personal,
person.
or,
No.
like, it's personal. It's not, doesn't have, anything to do with anybody else necessarily, right? And I think you're getting better at that, though. You're getting a lot better at, being vulnerable and just and I think too, like, I turn to social media
Hmm.
because, I think it's important to let people
Hmm.
see you for who you are,
Yeah.
the real, the ugly, and what I've realized too is that people gravitate towards that because a lot of people, struggle with being vulnerable because, like you said, it's seen as weakness, whereas I'm okay with people seeing my weakness because at the end of the day,
Hmm.
people do root for you, and they
But
want
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I
the
think
right people.
That's it. I think inherently we want to see people succeed. I think
Hmm.
that at everyone's core, we're all doing the best we can. I need to believe that, because if you don't, if you think people are always out to get you or whatever, like you're
Hmm.
just going to live very differently than if you were to believe that people are doing the best they can.
Well, healing is a lifelong commitment,
Yep.
and it can be a roller coaster ride. It can be a merry-go-round. It
Yep.
can be all kinds of things. And the thing I like about myself now is when I'm meeting the person that I see in the mirror, I like her.
Me too.
There is a good chunk of time where I did not like the person I was. And not
Yeah.
that I was a bad person, I just didn't like me.
Yeah.
And so, you
I think
know,
a lot of your experiences shaped that view,
absolutely. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I've been there too. We didn't
Hmm.
have easy childhoods.
No,
We had
no.
actually very difficult childhoods. And,
Hmm.
you know, by societal standards, like we should have turned out pretty fucked up. We should
Maybe
have
we
been,
did and we just don't know.
we're in denial, eh? We're like in la la land. We're like, no, everybody else is all screwed up. But I think the difference with that too is we're willing to admit that we're very flawed, you know?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
it doesn't take somebody long to see that in me,
Hmm.
like but I think that the goodness far outweighs
Yeah.
any,
Well,
um
nobody's perfect. Nobody,
no,
nobody, nobody,
no,
nobody's perfect.
no,
And
and I think the more perfect you claim that you are, the more fucked up you are, you know?
probably,
Like,
probably.
I am, sometimes rough around the edges. I throw F-bombs around. By the way, people
Hmm.
who swear are more intelligent, it's been proven. There's been studies on that. So, like, and but I know how to clean myself up at the same time. If I'm
Yeah,
dealing with clients on a professional level, I know when I'm able to kind of open myself up a little bit more with
right.
somebody. I'm good at
Yeah,
reading people that way.
yeah.
Just through a 5-minute conversation on the phone too. I know that I can be like, well, fuck, this is stupid,
Hmm.
like, and you're really good at that too. You're really good at reading people.
I am, but I doubt myself. I
True.
really doubt myself and I doubt my ability
True.
because a lot of the times I go kind of against what I think
Your
or how I
intuition.
feel. Yeah, my
Yeah.
intuition exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, I was right.
But you
But
know what?
sometimes I'm wrong though too. So
Well, what I
that's
I think too, I think when you experience trauma, I think that's when you tend to doubt your intuition a lot,
yeah.
because trauma happens on an ego level, right? And you have to
Mhm.
park your ego to address the trauma on a soul level, right?
Yeah, the ego has something a huge part
That's
to
it,
do with it, and I think sometimes, I mean, with me, some of the things that I've been through in my life as trauma, I've done, EMDR, which anybody who's I really strongly suggest that,
Yeah.
because it
Eye
really,
movement desensitization
yeah,
reprogramming.
it
And for
started
serious
to
traumas, it's a really good therapy. I've done it myself. Yeah.
it started to I was able to face the trauma but not re-traumatize myself through the therapy.
That's
And
right.
it's not teaching people how to dissociate from it. It's just creating a safe place in your brain
Yeah.
where you can deal with trauma. So then it dissipates the triggers and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get into that too. There's just all sorts of
Different
different
modalities
healing
and stuff
techniques
too.
and
Yeah,
with
exactly.
trauma. But
Yeah.
I've with that being said, this has been a great conversation.
Are we gonna wrap it up?
Yeah,
We're gonna do
it's
that?
yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, I hope if any of this resonated with you guys, that you'll like and subscribe and keep tuning in with us,
yeah.
and take this journey with us.
Hmm.
We're learning as we go, white belt mentality, and we're very green, so we're gonna make a lot of mistakes and we're gonna fumble. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I think this went well.
I uh, I like that we finally got this up and running.
I know it's been
And
so long that we've wanted to do this. So it's
these
been,
conversations, and we need more of them.
yes,
Just
absolutely.
a conversation.
Just open, be open.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to open yourself up, to be vulnerable, to tell somebody. It should be just as simple as, hey, how are you doing? I'm not so great, actually.
Mhm.
And it's, what's going on? Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Take a minute, sit with somebody,
Yeah.
help
Well,
them turn on
and
the light.
we've talked about that where it'd be kind of nice where people could talk about mental health issues like a grocery list.
That's right. That's right.
Well, what are you getting? What kind of therapy?
Yeah.
People, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to go to therapy. It's okay to talk about problems
It's okay to
your
rub rocks
mistakes.
together and
And
smudge and go to moon ceremonies and, write lists and burn them and,
yeah,
like all kinds of stuff. So it's a whole, like you said, mixed bag, right?
yep,
And that's kind of what we're hoping to encompass in our
right,
podcast. That's kind of our goal, is if we can
yeah.
help even one person just realize that they're more normal than they think they are, you
Step
know.
outside of the box
Well, and
of
you have to park your ego, because ego has no business being involved in mental health, because the more you are too proud to address something, the sicker you're going to be for longer. It's that simple.
yeah. Well, you don't get better without treatment. It
You don't.
just doesn't. It doesn't.
You don't.
It doesn't
You don't.
work.
That's it.
And whatever that treatment plan may be,
Yeah,
we don't claim to be that
exactly.
treatment plan,
No.
but
No, we are
we,
not.
we
Please see a medical professional outside of this podcast, please.
disclaimer.
Right? Disclaimer. Like I said, we are not shrinks. We are not coaches. We are
No.
just two friends who happen to have amazing conversations and a very good relationship,
Yep.
that benefits the both of us, and we've seen it benefit others. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
with that being said,
Hmm.
ciao, Bella.
Do you want to give out their our email if anybody
Yeah.
has any questions or concerns or
Yes, please email us, guys.
suggestions?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just simple as be who they come to at gmail.com.
Okay, and we will see you next episode.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a great day.